Previously, on My Little Pony Meets the WWE, the main seven got to meet all three members of the New Day, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods, and the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. And now today, after the reveal at the end of the episode, the main seven are about to meet one of the best pure strikers in WWE, as what people would say, pretty much the leader of WrestleMania, the man who had an incredible streak of 21-0 at WrestleMania before the streak was broken by Brock Lesnar in 2014, has only been beaten by two men, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Since then, he ruled WrestleMania, and he's ruled WWE since then, from the beginning of time back in the early days. He is known as the Dead Man, the Phenom. It is none other than the Undertaker. So you're supposed to be the Undertaker, right? You got that right, young pony. I am indeed the Undertaker.
Sounds pretty awesome if you ask me. Allow us to introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Rainbow Dash. My name's Rarity. I'm Fluttershy.
Sorry, come again?
I'm Fluttershy. Her name's Fluttershy. She's just very shy, but never mind. My name's Pinkie Pie.
I'm Twilight Sparkle. My name is Applejack.
And I'm Sunset Shimmer.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure to meet you all. So, did you all come here to visit me for a reason?
We sure indeed. We're going around the WWE meeting and greeting and getting to know superstars about their backstories and everything. We were wondering if you could tell us your story throughout the years in WWE.
Well, since I am one of the old superstars that's remained around for years, I guess I shall tell my story. So, it all began back in the 19s or something, where I debuted in a tag team match. I was revealed to be with a legend named Ted DiBiase, who was known as the $1 Million Man. I eventually went on my own and everything else after then. Even at one point during them times, I even battled another Undertaker, Ted DiBiase's Undertaker. I was with Paul Bearer a little bit later in that time. I had many matches against great legends like Mankind and many more. There's just so many legends, I just can't name them all. But I grew stronger and stronger and stronger, kept my career going and going and going. Even did some serious and maybe even shocking things, like me throwing Mankind off the top of Hell in a Cell, and then even me chokeslamming him through the top of the cage. I did beat Mankind tonight, and even I made history with Shawn Michaels when I was involved in the first ever Hell in a Cell match. Fortunately, didn't win because my brother Kane would debut at that time, which also Paul Bearer sided himself with, and would cost me the match. I had many matches since then, battled many superstars in them times like Kane, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H, many more. I continued on in my career for WWE, and I kept making it my yard. Because since then in that time, WWE was always my yard from beginning of time. I continued my career, and even began my first match at WrestleMania where I would win, and eventually more and more and more, I continued to have a winning streak at WrestleMania, beating all sorts of legends there, like Batista, Mark Henry, Jake the Snake Roberts, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, many more there to name from. I continued on as I kept moving on years and more years in WWE, until 2014 at that WrestleMania at the Superdome. I unfortunately had my very first loss at WrestleMania as I was defeated under the hands of Brock Lesnar, the former Universal Champion. From in that time, I almost was thinking about retiring my career, but I continued on and continued on. And I did also win some championships as well, just to let you know, back in the past and that stuff. I was a former World Heavyweight Champion, former WWE Champion. I think I was even a former tag team champion at one point. But never mind. As I continued on, I eventually returned to WWE 2015, even suffering that loss in 2014 to WrestleMania Brock Lesnar. I battled Bray Wyatt the next year, would still continue on to win. Then later on, I returned at Battleground 2015 when Brock Lesnar was maybe closing in on winning the WWE Championship from Seth Rollins until I interrupted because I needed payback against Brock Lesnar. I eventually beat him at SummerSlam, then unfortunately beat me at Hell in a Cell to end our rivalry once and for all. Then began a new rivalry with the Wyatt family, which my brother Kane would return to help me beat Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper at Survivor Series. Then later in 2016, returning again for another WrestleMania as it was announced I was going to face Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. If I didn't beat Shane, that WrestleMania would have been my last. So I had to put everything on the line. I eventually beat Shane McMahon that night at WrestleMania 2016 at a Hell in a Cell match. It was really, really tough. It was also at the AT&T Stadium in Texas. Shane McMahon even jumped off the top trying to end me, but I got out of the way. Shane McMahon was brutally hurt. I eventually wanted to continue on. Then later in 2017, I would return yet again, of course, for another WrestleMania as I would be revealed that I was going to enter the Royal Rumble match. Fortunately did not win because I was eliminated by Roman Reigns, which would then set up a match between me and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It was the main event at WrestleMania 2. Fortunately, Roman Reigns won. Everybody thought that was the end of my career because everybody thought Roman Reigns retired me. But I wasn't ready to be retired just yet as I again returned for another WrestleMania in 2018. John Cena wanted to battle me at WrestleMania. He wanted me to have one last WrestleMania against him, and he got it as I absolutely destroyed John Cena that night. Talking trash and everything else. He deserved it. It still wouldn't be the end of me though, because if you think that was over, it wasn't. I continued on more and more and more as I then came back again in 2019. In 2019, well actually I forgot to mention 2018, I also got to return for a match at the Greatest Royal Rumble as I beat Rusev in a casket match. Then we'll return for a final showdown with Triple H at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Fortunately lost, but then me and Kane wanted payback against him as then Triple H and Shawn Michaels reunited as D-Generation X. We battled them at Crown Jewel, fortunately lost. But that didn't stop me because then I came back this year in 2019. I came back the night after WrestleMania, interrupting Elias, destroying him. Then I would return again a little later on for another match. I was then at Saudi Arabia again for another match as I would have a first ever time match against Goldberg. I was successful against Goldberg. Then I returned yet again as Roman Reigns was in trouble against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I helped Roman Reigns out, which would then set up a tag team match at Extreme Rules as I teamed up with Roman Reigns to take out Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. That was the last time I appeared. Since then, in that time, WWE has really always been my yard, so I've proven time and time again I still got what it takes because I am the Dead Man, the Phenom. I am the Undertaker.
Wow, what an amazing backstory you had there, Mr. Undertaker. I've certainly loved that.
I didn't think you've been around that long, darling, but it's certainly nice how you've been able to keep your will in the game in WWE since then. Yeah, that was awesome. Of course, I say that all the time. But never mind. Thanks for sharing your story with us. We gotta get going now, so we'll have to see you later.
Well, I shall see you later then, but it was nice for me to share my story with you all.
Catch you later, Undertaker.
See you later, Main 7.
And so the main 7 left the Undertaker and continued doing what they just do, and that is meet more superstars. The main 7 continued to meet more and more superstars like the Demon Finn Balor, The Miz, Triple H, Kurt Angle, the Hardy Boys Matt and Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, Sting, Bret the Hitman Hart, Andre the Giant, and many more superstars as well, until one night on Raw, it was time for the main seven to make an important announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with y'all today. Standing behind me is the main seven because they have an important announcement they need to make to all of you.
So we've been here in WWE for quite some time now, since we were discovered when we jumped over the barricade. We even had a few matches, as well as we had our first debuting match against The Shield, as you may remember. We've also beaten more superstars a few times before this announcement was going to make, under the hands of like many names. We defeated like many superstars, including Brock Lesnar. We actually beat Brock Lesnar in a 7-on-1 handicap match, which pretty much most fans said he deserves, since nobody likes Lesnar, but whatever. We've also beaten more and more other superstars as well, like Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Neville, just to name a few, because we at least needed to have a few more matches before our time was going to be up. So we're here to make it a day that we're leaving WWE. Yeah, unfortunately, it's time for us to head back to Ponyville, because we've been gone for quite some time, and we need to return because we still got to defend our place. So this is the final goodbye for us. This is our, well, goodbye message to the WWE Universe, that we are about to head back onto Ponyville.
Wait a minute. Hold on just a minute.
You guys are not going anywhere just yet.
Boo, boo.
Yeah, you pathetic scumbags can boo us all you want, but just shut your freaking mouths.
Boo.
You know I could just talk over y'all, right?
Boo, boo.
But anyway, Main 7, we came out here today to let y'all know that was kind of pathetic on how you guys beat us in your final matches. You beat us 7. Myself, Baron Corbin, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Neville on one of your final matches. And then some of you even beat us in singles matches. And we're not happy with that. So this may be your final night tonight, and you may be going home, but guess what? You're not gonna go anywhere, and you're not going home unless we get our payback that we deserve for you beating us on your nights.
Boo, boo.
You see, you don't get away with stuff like that real easily, Main 7. We are one of the greatest superstars of all time, and you know we ain't gonna let anyone get away with anything. So if you think you're just gonna have your final night here and go home, you guessed wrong, because we are not finished with you. And as much as we like to say it here, fellas, we are going to destroy you guys, and make sure you do not go home or go anywhere unless you're finished. We are going to crush you like little bugs. Oh, come on, no, not on this night. You gotta be kidding me. Baron Corbin and his crew, Rusev, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Neville are gonna stop and destroy the Main 7 on their last night, and they're gonna prevent them from going home. Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Come on. Where's Corbin been thinking bringing this crew out here? This is absolutely disgraceful. And Corbin and crew making their way down to the ring. Oh, wait a minute. Triple H now in the ring. Oh, I think it looks like Triple H is gonna help out the Main 7. Gonna try to help him fight these guys off. Well, Baron Corbin and his crew are now outnumbered, because now it's 8-on-7. The Main 7 and Triple H against Corbin and his crew, that's 7, so now they're outnumbered. But I don't think Corbin and his crew are gonna go anywhere. Oh no, look at this. And Corbin and company have now surrounded Triple H and the Main 7 in the ring. They're all surrounded. Baron Corbin, Sheamus, Neville, Rusev, Dolph Ziggler, Neville, and Randy Orton have now surrounded him. Triple H and the Main 7 have got nowhere to go. They are surrounded by Corbin, Sheamus, Zayn, Rusev, Ziggler, Neville, and Orton. They've got nowhere to go. And they are helpless. They are defenseless, even though it's 8-on-1 for Corbin and company. But I don't think that'll matter to them because they're not very happy with the main seven's victories over them. Is there anything left for the main seven to do on their final night? On their night that they're supposed to be going home? Will the main seven be able to fight off Baron Corbin and his crew and have their final night in WWE successful and be able to go on home back to Ponyville? Find out next time on My Little Pony Meets the WWE.